What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 64 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
Ton of event data to go over this week. We had a qualifier and a rumble. So, as per tradition, we're going to go over all the data from that.
For sure. I'm excited, man.
We got a real sweet team of the week, which is the winner of the qualifiers team, Mocha. Congrats to them for being our second qualifier.
Yeah, between Mocha and Evan, I know Zordor ended up playing in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm, and he took that down.
Like, Invitational's going to have really good players.
Yeah, no. So, fun fact.
Like, Karibo won the last one.
Yep.
I don't think he played in either of the other events.
He hadn't got to participate in it. He's been participating in the Rumbles, but he hadn't got to participate this last time because of life stuff. But like secret hidden things, Shadow Giraffe and Yan are just top finishing everything.
They have top cut both events from this past week. I believe
they did really well.
Both of them top cut the Rumble last time.
I believe so. I know Shadow Giraffe was just short, but they were also were a 3-1.
Gotcha. Okay.
We had a 4-0 and then 3 3-1s, and then he was the odd man out.
Rough.
He needed us. The last match, the match everyone was waiting on, actually was helping determine breakers, because if Alex won, I'm pretty sure Shadow Giraffe was going to end up being fourth, and somebody else. Alex lost that match, so Shadow's opponent match win percentage went down.
Gotcha.
Because that's what it came down to. It came down to like one match or 2 match wins, which is insane.
Do you have the point totals up anywhere?
I can pull them up.
Are they readily available?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So I know Shadow Giraffe and Yan is like first. He has 29.
Yeah, 29. Shadow Giraffe is at 28.
And then Poker T is down at 27. And those were the big 3. Swede has only played in two events, and he's the 4th place right
now. Which, interesting, his team that I've been playing for laddering this past week, he said he went 1-2 in the Rumble, or 1-3. So when I went 2-0, I just messaged him, I'm like, I did better.
To be fair, yeah, his Rumble appearance wasn't as great, but his qualifier run was real good.
Finished second in the qualifier?
Yes. Finished second in the qualifier.
So obviously huge amounts of points there for that. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Karibo at 18, Dan Zordor was at 15.
Alex is at 13, Gills at 12. Kaizen wrecked him, and Protato finished second in the Rumble. That's their first event period with us.
Yeah.
It's already making a big splash there.
Is that Zordor's first event with us as well?
Mm-hmm.
I know he's been around with the ATX group for quite a while, and so I've known him from that.
Yeah.
And of course then he, top cut the Players Cup 3 stuff for North America. Obviously is a very good player. And when he joined the Discord again the other day, I was like, all right, Rumble, just events canceled.
Zordor wins it all. Yeah.
And then he actually came out and won. So
yeah. And then we got a bunch of people here under 10. Pal Tiliak, you, Adam, and their top cut his first event ever.
Adam.
Sans Tacos.
Yeah, finished third or fourth.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. We don't play for 3rd, 4th in the Rumbles just for sake of time, because they already run late as is usually. Which we might look at that, because they have been finishing much earlier than I anticipated, a lot of them.
Yeah,
Rumbles tend to go by pretty quick.
Worst part is had I not agreed to work today, I would have been able to play the 4th round and had a chance of top cutting.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. In the event I do qualify for the Invitational, I'm not going to be able to play it. So, exactly. I am playing these to have fun and to make content out of them. So, sure, whatever, cool. Yeah. So, I'm not last.
Yeah. We got a bunch of 5s, a bunch of 3s, a bunch of 2s, because these are usually, people who've just started, like Cooper and Penguin and NG, and people who had like skipped a couple. I know Beppis had been playing a decent amount of them, but
I had to step away for a second or something. Yeah. And, real life happens, and I get that, so it is what it is.
But we have a ton. There's currently 35 different points holders on this board.
What's even better about that is, like, Evan's not on here because he's already qualified.
Mocha's not on here because he's also qualified.
So, like, cool.
Yeah.
So, 37 unique players across events so far.
Yeah.
And we're 4 events in. And, like, this last Rumble had 18 people.
Yep, 18
so, like,
start.
Every event is just grown.
They've been getting bigger, yeah. The qualifier started out with 16. We ended up going down to 15 at check-in. Poppy, I think, overslept.
I think we originally had... I think it was originally 18 for the Rumble. Someone didn't show up. I tried to convince Swede to come play. He was too busy playing Final Fantasy. And then one of the other guys is like, hey, I have a buddy. Can he join, like, now? And she's like, yeah, sure. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, unfortunately, his buddy's like, oh, hey, by the way, I have to drop.
Yeah, I was just like, which is fine. It's like,
it sucks.
You kind of got thrown under the bus here. It's just like, hey, come play in this event real quick with us so we have an even number. Sure.
And, like, it was cool that they were able to play, but
yeah.
Unfortunate that it was, oh, yeah, by the way,
yeah,
I'm leaving now. I wanted to avoid buys and then ended up creating more.
Having a bunch of buys. A bunch of people had dropped too.
Yeah, for sure. Like, obviously, I dropped because of work and, like, 3 rounds was enough for me, enough to make a decent amount of content. Which those laddering videos are all up already. This is coming out, of course, on Monday. The laddering is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
That Rumble would have come up on Saturday then.
Yeah, it will. So
go check out Saturday's laddering video.
It's going to be a long one. I have 3 best of 3 matches, 2 of which went to game 3. And, like, I'm probably going to cut the best of, like, the one that went to 2 games and just do the 2 best of 3s. Mm-hmm. Because, like, both of those matches were insanely close.
There's also, like, that's 6 games as it is. So adding 2 more, it'd be almost 2 hours long, probably.
I had a match against Adam where... Was he streaming?
No.
Okay, so he game 1 led Thunderous Tornadoes.
Okay.
I anticipated the Thunderous to max. So I burnt it. Landers maxed. Turned out it's Prankster Thunderous.
That's actually usually how it ends up being.
Which, I'm just like, that makes sense, cool, whatever. I also wanted to, like, make sure that Driftwind was able to live a hit in the event that Thunderous did max and go for, like, a Max Lightning into that slot. Getting that burn off would have been critical. Mm-hmm. So then the following turn, because Landers did max, I burnt it too. It's like, stop it. And it turned out his Landers was Life Orb. And, like, the burn just didn't seem like it mattered.
It usually doesn't.
Like, it just astronomical amount of damage. Like, behind, like, with Shukaberry, Max Quake did, like, 75% to my Coco with it being burnt. I'm just like, holy cow, please
That's
stop.
Life Orb for you.
So game 2, he leads the same lead. I believe I lead Driftwind Coco again. He switches Landers out into Feeny. Obviously my Will-O-Wisp does nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, alright, cool, I'll just Volt switch off of this, and because I have Cole Pre-Marine in the back. I'll Volt switch off of it to get in 1. Nope. Protect.
Yep.
Like, alright, I'll do it again. I'm gonna Volt switch back into Landorus. It's like, Adam, please stop. Finally get the burn off on the Landorus, and switch into Cole. Earthquake crits my Cole and one-shots it.
Oof.
I did the calc afterwards. The crit 100% mattered, and had it not, I got my Volt switch off, and then I was going to be able to have Cole Pre-Marine on the field at the same time. But he crit me. So that, like, obviously, he just played me like a fiddle game 2. And I felt like I was still in the game had he not crit. Mm-hmm. And then game 3, he played brilliantly to where I taunted his Thunderous because it had Thunderwave Eerie Impulse. I was able to max Cole in front of it, get the steam engine off to trigger Policy, and I was going to target down the Thunderous to delete it, but he rightfully switched it out to be able to, he switched in Landorus to get KO'd, to then just bring back in Thunderous. Now it's no longer taunted to be able to fire off Eerie Impulses. But that turn, he was able to bring out Feeny and Thunderous together against my Dynamax Cole. It was like Cole plus Coco. I'm like, all right, well, I feel like this Protect is super, super obvious on my Cole because he hasn't Dynamaxed yet. So, like, he's going to Dynamax Feeny. I'm like, but, like, if the play I saw was Eerie Impulse to the Cole. Now it doesn't do anything. And then Max Geyser takes it out. So I'm like, the double up into Cole makes sense to me because I'm the fastest thing on the field. Mm-hmm. So I max guard. He reads this, Eerie Impulses into my Coco. Now my Volt Switch does like no damage, and then Geysers my Coco. I'm just like, holy cow. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but at the time, I'm just like, Colossal's the biggest threat on the field. You need to take this out. It's my last turn with Dynamax, so like, obviously going for max guard this turn makes sense to me. And he just read it and played it perfectly.
Yeah.
Just like, absolutely cannot, it could not have gone any better for him. So, like, Adam's a fantastic player. I've always known that. But just humiliated me.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference in best of threes.
For sure.
You have a lot of repeatable patterns, and a good player will figure that stuff out. And
like, combined, we brought 8 Mons in 3 games. Yeah. We had no variance on either side.
Yeah.
Just because, like, Salamence didn't seem very good when we were facing down Feeny, Landorus, and Thunderous. So, like, especially game 1 because I didn't know that it was Prankster. Like, bringing Salamence there doesn't make sense because I don't want to give him the free boost. He also had the Mons he left behind were Ensign and P2?
That makes sense, though.
I think. I'd have to be able to pull up the data to actually look.
I don't have that data in front of me. I have the single usage data in front of me.
I can find it, maybe.
Which, there was a lot.
Yeah, you wanna talk about that?
So...
let's get into this.
For the Rumble, we had 2 Pokemon tie for most usage. Incineroar and Dragapult at 6 copies apiece. Next up, we had 3 Pokemon at 5. Zapdos, Tapu Fini, and Kartana, respectively. 4 Pokemon at 4. Landorus, Therian, Grimmsnarl, Colossal, and Celesteela. 1 Pokemon at 3 at Nihilego. And then there's a giant pile of 2s. Well, there's also there's 3 Urshifu because Gmax Urshifu and regular Urshifu got submitted and they read them the program reads them as different. So there's another Urshifu at 3. But then there's 2 Whimsicott, 2 Venusaur, 2 Rapid Strike Urshifu, 2 Tyranitar, 2 Tornadus, 2 Torkoal, 2 Togekiss, 2 Stack Attack, 2 Spectrier, 2 Rotom Wash, 2 P2, 2 Galarian Moltres, 2 Indeedee Female, 2 Glastrier, 2 Dusclops. That's a lot of 2s.
That is.
And then there's more than that in the ones category. There was a Terrakion, Tapu Koko, Thundurus, Salamence, Rotom Heat, Rillaboom, Rhyperior, Raichu, Primarina, Porygon Z, Metagross, Lapras, Heatran, Gastrodon, Excadrill, Drifblim, Dracovish. I don't know who played Dracovish.
Probably the guy who brought T-Tar, right?
You would assume so, right? Conkeldurr, Clefairy, Cinderace, Bisharp, Arcanine.
Hold on, Conk?
And Amoonguss. Yeah, that's on Zorder's team.
I actually haven't looked at these.
So Zorder's team is really sweet. We'll probably talk about it a little bit. And we'll probably talk about Protato's team as well.
The Monty Adam left behind were Urshifu and Ensign.
Both of those make sense.
Yeah, his last one was AV Kartana. Because he brought it out, and I made the comment, I'm like, Adam has previously told me he loves Sash Kartana, So this is going to be a nuisance. So I just max flare it and it just dies. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's way better. That is way better for me. Yeah, I played Potato in round 1.
Yeah, I watched that one. That one was really sweet.
It was a very tough match, and game 1. Let's just jump into this team real quick.
Potatoes.
Yeah, there we go. So I see Raichu, PZ, Clef, Urshifu, Moltres, and Glastrier in team preview.
This is very reminiscent of like old Series 6
this is like
PZ.
Series 5, Series 6 stuff, but we add in Moltres, Glastrier.
Yeah,
so like absolutely love the team.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously I anticipate Clef PZ as a lead because like that's super common. Sure enough, it is. He doesn't really ever answer the Kartana. I get to Dynamax Kartana, blow up Clefairy, get me my attack boost, my special attack boost. PZ protects the turn I max, so like just doesn't do anything. And then because I'm Sash Kartana, his Hyper Beam puts me down to Sash while KOing him thanks to Life Orb. And then brings out Glastrier and I just one-shot it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm already at +1. So game 1, Kartana sweep. Game 2, I lead Coco plus Kartana. They lead PZ Raichu. So the play I see, I definitely misplayed this turn. I anticipated them to fake out Coco plus Max Strike to pick up the KO on it. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go into Balloon and I'll be able to get my Tailwind up and outspeed them, and then Kartana can sweep. So I maxed Kartana, and I talked about it after I had locked in moves. I'm like, I get really punished if they go for Nuzzle plus Max Strike into Kartana. And sure enough, that's exactly what they do and just one-shot Kartana. I'm like, I literally don't have a way back into this game now. He still has 2 turns with Dynamax, and my best answer to it is KO'd in one-shot.
It's gone, yeah.
So, like, I literally just don't have an answer. So, game 3, I lead... I think we make, like, the same lead, but... No, I lead Balloon Coco, I believe. And I'm able to... No, it's Kartana Coco. No, Kartana Balloon. Kartana Balloon. No? Kartana Coco. And I switch out Kartana into Balloon, anticipating basically the same play. Instead, they go for fake out. No, it was Nuzzle plus Max Lightning, which Lightning Rod, so that doesn't happen. But evidently, they hovered over Max Strike as well for like ever, and finally locked in Lightning. So like immediately unpunished, and I'm able to take out this Raichu, and then Kartana comes in and just smacks him again.
Yeah,
like the biggest thing about Kartana is like it can deal with PZ, but it also is super threatened by it because you can just one-shot it.
Yeah.
And like game 1, he showed me Dark Pulse, Max Darkness. So like I knew Hyper Beam, Dark Pulse, and Protect, but I didn't know it was Protect. Something I actually commented on because it was the Glastrier. I anticipated a potential like Trick Room instead.
Yeah, you have Trick Room on.
Like, so I could just see follow me Trick Room on turn 1 and then bring in Glastrier and sweep with it. Like
that's a super clever thing to think about. But
especially with it being PZ, people wouldn't anticipate Trick Room.
Yeah.
So now that we actually have the team in front of us and I actually see it's Protect, I'm just like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, right.
Like, had that been Trick Room, my team kind of suffered. Like, I want to go real fast.
Yeah.
And like, sure, I can taunt, but follow me doesn't really care. Like, I'm going to taunt the Clefairy.
Exactly.
So.
Which, if you want to go watch Potato play, and I don't think any of his matches got saved to his
Twitch.
Twitch.
Unfortunately not.
But I know the match against Zorder is on Zorder's channel. Twitch.tv/Zorder12.
The match against me, I'm going to have in the VOD. So you can watch me get completely bodied game 2, and then completely bodied by Adam in game 2.
I'm noticing your weak point is game 2.
Look, I don't want to talk about it. It's fair, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Looking at Zorder's team here, it's pretty sweet too.
This is like Series 3, Series 4 nonsense.
This is Series 5 like stuff with the addition of Zapdos and that's about it. And Tapu Fini. Like, I believe in a perfect world, this Tapu Fini, like, from Series 5 would be probably Primarina, and this Zapdos would be, like, any decent special attack.
Probably like Rotom.
Yeah.
Like, having an electric type that's also immune to ground is probably exactly what you want in that slot. And
yeah.
That narrows it down to exactly Zapdos and Rotom. So, could see, like, Rotom Wash plus generic fairy. Like, Rotom
Probably
Wash plus
Togekiss.
Togekiss. Yeah. Like, that gives you literally the same typings as Zapdos Fini, but
just in
flopped
different
around.
orders.
Yeah. And
it's more ground resists.
Which is huge because when you have Cinderace and Bisharp, his last two are Conk and Dragapult. Misty Sea.
Yeah, we'll get to this. We'll get to this.
Okay. This is a spicy team.
So yeah. The idea here is like Cinderace doesn't like to be intimidated, Bisharp wants to be intimidated, so then you can do You can do a Cinderace plus Bisharp Assurance that usually picks up a ton of KOs pretty easily. There's also a ton of other leads.
Oh, hold on. Let's talk about the Cinderace set.
Oh, so
this
the
is
idea
spicy.
here is Double Edge is the same as Pyro Ball but normal type, so you get to switch to the Libero and deal damage. And it came up. It actually mattered. Having Double Edge actually mattered in a lot of the finals match because there was something to do with like him getting into finals against Yan, who was playing on Dusclops.
Mm-hmm.
So playing split was problematic. So he would double edge the other Pokemon in order to
lower his
recall.
own HP.
So
Dusclops recovers less. That's beautiful.
And then Pyro Ball eventually got through and picked it up.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
A lot of orders matches. I got to watch the tail end of like the semifinals one, and then I got to watch the finals one, and it was great to watch.
The fact that we're double edge in a format dominated by Reggie Eliki instead of bounce is huge.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, that's a big piece of tech because, like, if we turn it into a flying type to make ourselves faster, Eliki is still faster than us, right? No. Yep. We get to 188?
277.
We're exactly speed tight, aren't we?
It's close.
I actually need to do the math on that.
Do the math for that one. But yeah, this is like, they do the same thing, essentially. Either one gives you a +1, one puts a -1 on your opponent. So it's like, it's better against Alecki and other things where you get to reduce their speed, but not have to worry about it so much. The downside is it's not good against things like Metagross and these clear body Pokemon like Regirock. If Regirock was in here and you're trying to lower its speed, well, it doesn't really care. But you also can't lower any of its other stats or stuff like that.
We get to 282, so... but the big thing is, like, we're not turning into a flying type to then be weak to
be
Eliki.
Blown up by
So, like, sure, we can be faster, but we can also just one-shot the Eliki, which, granted, we could do with Pyro Ball, we could do with Sucker Punch as well.
Yeah.
But, man, Double Edge being able to slow down whatever is next to Eliki and then blow it up the following turn is also pretty huge.
Yeah. The Zapdos set is pretty standard, except for Swap for Roost.
I actually really like Roost.
I've been doing that a lot too on any kind of time I play with Zapdos. It's just like, I can just slap on Roost here and not care. But since it still becomes Protect becomes Max Guard when you Dynamax it, it still is fine. Tapu Fini's pretty standard. Bisharp's fairly standard. Getting into the other two Pokemon here, the Conkeldurr, which we hadn't seen a lot of, period, since Series 5. This is an Assault.
Before that, Series 4, right? Because
it was still played in Series 5.
Was it? Okay. Yeah.
Because Series 5 was just before, Series 5 was in the middle. It's like we're transitioning to that ban list, so Urshifu actually gets to do something. Because Urshifu hadn't become popular yet.
Oh, that's right. Conk really fell off.
Because Mach Punch just pushed Urshifu out of the format.
Yep.
And then once Series 6 rolled around, and then Series 7, Redirection wasn't a big a deal, so Conkeldurr didn't have to be played as much, because you got to play Urshifu a lot more.
I'm curious what this Speed IV is for.
Probably just to outspeed something. Or just because it's it's 13 IVs plus 4 means it's outspeed something probably.
I'm curious why we like obviously it's meant to outspeed something. I'm curious what that speed stack is as to.
Well, Let's
find out together.
I'm gonna talk about this Dragapult because this Dragapult's really cool.
Yeah, do your thing.
So this is a Misty Seed Dragapult. This ends up being a bulky Dragapult, like without actually having to invest a bunch in bulk. You still get your speed and your attack investment. You have some decent defense investment, and then this Misty Seed with Tapu Fini means you get a decent special defense stat as well, without having to invest in anything for it. Phantom Force, Dragon Darts, Acrobatics, which is super cute. You get a boost. You get boosted Acrobatics after Tapu Fini switch in, and Protect, and it's super unique and it's super sweet. I think it's great. But yeah, that's the team for Zordor. That's what won the Rumble. So it's really, really cool. What's the speed stat get us to?
57.
57. It outspeeds Marowak. It outspeeds
Glastrier.
By a ton.
No, I mean 31 Glastrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 50.
Trying to think of anything that gets to 56 specifically.
That would be a base speed of 35? 36. 56 gets it's 36, right?
You want the phone out.
Yeah, let's find out together. See if there's anything even with a speed stat of 36. Excuse me for a second, I had to scroll. There's not an easier way to do this, right? Than sort by speed and then scroll all the way down?
No.
Because you can't sort by reverse order, can you?
Nope. Not on Showdown, nope.
Lame. Dear Showdown programmers, please implement reverse order. I want lowest speed tier first.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to get everything set up here for our LRQ data, which there's a ton of that too.
48.
You're close.
We don't outspeed Marowak.
Alolan?
It's 45.
No. They normally want 0 speed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
They're not base 31. They're not usually base 45 plus 31. They're usually 0 speed.
So that puts them to what speed set does that put them to? 31?
Puts them to 40.
45?
They're base 45.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up being and put them like 42. Remember correctly?
So we need to go faster than that, but slower than what? Because everything below that is also going to want to be min speed.
Usually. Let me see real quick.
36. There are 3 Pokemon with a base speed of 36. None of them are relevant.
Okay. So
Drampa, Turtonator, and Charjabug.
The Drampa one's interesting.
I mean, we still just Mach Punch them.
Yeah, but is Mach Punch going to take out a Drampa?
I don't know.
Probably not, right?
I don't know how. Carl, you're asking a man who's never played with Drampa
really?
About
we have
it.
To change that problem. That's a problem. We have to change that. We're not changing it today, but let's look at some Rumble data. Some qualifier data set, shall we?
Sure. What do we got?
So the qualifier that was on Saturday wasn't as big as the Rumble, but that has a little bit weirder data set.
To be fair, free events are always going to be usually more popular, in my opinion.
We were close. We were close to beating the Rumble.
It really was.
15 players ended up playing.
How many did the first Rumble have?
9. So we had
Rumble.
A Rumble. Rumble was 16.
So yeah, pretty close on beating out the first Rumble.
We had 16 sign up and paid for, and then Poppy slept through his alarm, I'm assuming.
Dang it, Poppy!
Which they had donated extras to for other people to play, which was nice of them. And I was sad that they didn't get to play. But we refunded them and it was all good. But 7 Grim Snarls.
Ask me how surprised I am by that. In all actuality.
When the next most popular Pokemon is 4. At least in the Rumble data, there was a 6s and 5s and 4s and it moved down. No, we started at 7 and then followed a 4. 7 Grimmsnarls, 4 P2, 4 Zapdos, 4 Spectrier, 4 Incineroar, 4 Tapu Fini. 3s consisted of 3 Primarina, Glastrier, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Dragapult, Rillaboom, Celesteela, Landorus, Therian, and Metagross. We had 2 Raichu, again, 2 Regieleki, 2 Kartana, 2 Stakataka, 2 Heatran, 2 Dusclops, 2 Colossal, 2 Entei, and 2 Moltres. Galarian. And then in our unique category, we had 1 Urshifu Single Strike, 1 Gastrodon, 1 Nihilego, 1 Pheromosa, 1 Clefairy, 1 Arcanine, 1 Politoed, 1 Kingdra, 1 Rhyperior, 1 Garchomp, 1 set of Venucole, 1 Amoonguss, 1 Whimsicott after being really high in the last Rumble.
It was the most popular in the Rumble.
In the first Rumble, and then it went to 1 this Rumble.
2 different Rotoms, Washing Heat, Comfey, Snorlax, Cofagrigus, Silvally, and of course Mudsdale, the best horse.
Yeah, Dirt Horse. So the Snorlax and Cofagrigus are together. They were.
I'm assuming this is Trick Room Blow Up, or is this Belly Drum
it's
Trick Room?
It's G-Max Snorlax,
and then. Are we Custap Berry?
We'll get to
Can
that.
we be Custap Berry?
We'll get to that.
Carl, I need to know for my sake.
I
want to blow up on people.
We'll get to that. So, the odd numbers here are like the Silvally, this Cofagrigus, this Snorlax. These are all really cool. There is the Kingdra Polyset and the Torkoal Venucole situation here, which weather's not been very popular in Series 9. Who knew?
It's funny because, like, I've been playing with Politoed Kingdra, and it's been when it's good, it's insane.
Oh yeah,
and like that's the thing is like the biggest problem with Rain is the matchup where Rain is bad. The team doesn't feel like it does anything. So being able to complement it with Mons that 1 either don't care about the Rain, or 2 can play through it is super ideal.
Yeah, we'll talk about the whole situation with the Rain. Not doing, like, Rain being feast and famine later on. Because Rain technically went 4-0 in the Swiss rounds. It swept the Swiss rounds just in the hands of Rectim. Did really well with it, and then made it to the top cut, and got a repeat match against Gil from round 1, who had the entirety of the Swiss rounds to think about that loss. And then the match was great. It's all the matches I believe are on Gil's channel, twitch.tv/GilBGC.
Gil is great. Go follow him.
Yeah, I believe all the matches. The bot is up there.
I had a match on one of my laddering videos this week where my opponent was Gil. His name was Gil. So I messaged him. I'm like, is this you? He's like, no, I'm at work. I'm like, oh, dang it. Team was super weird. Had Tornadus Therian, had a Haze Glastrier. No, not Haze, Mist Glastrier.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Mind you, it didn't do anything.
Well, yeah.
Because I burnt it, lived the max Hailstorm on Drifblim.
And then you got to strength sap it.
They bring in Alchemy.
Oh, to try and...
So I strength sap it. They go to +1. I live it again.
Yep.
Strength sap it to go back.
Yeah.
It was... I made a very... I made a Glastrier player very, very angry.
Yeah, I bet. Speaking of Glastrier, our first team in top 8, Matt, ended up actually finishing 8th overall after quarterfinal, the way all seeds work out and whatnot. Had Glastrier and Cole and Dragapult and Primarina, and this is like this. Here's Cole,
but also we have a slow mode.
But also we have a slow mode with Glastrier and Dusclops and Primarina, and can do this stuff too.
See, Penguin and I talk a lot.
Yes,
and I have always told him I'm not a fan of Cole, and I think I finally have figured out why I don't like Colossal. The teams rely too much on it, I feel like.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the gimmick of it. It's just like Colossal, when it's good, does a lot, and it's really powerful. When it's not good, it's like Rain, it just doesn't feel like it doesn't do anything.
Exactly. So, like, again, looking at this team I played last week, it was a colossal team, right? But it wasn't at its core a colossal team. I was able to play games without colossal and feel like my team was still functional.
Yeah, it's not the core of colossal, Dragapult, Rillaboom, Aqua
Yeah,
Jet.
I don't need colossal, surf user, Aqua Jet user. At that point, you're devoting half your team to one thing.
Yeah.
So being able to make it where, they don't have a colossal answer, I guess I just win. As opposed to, alright, well, I can't bring colossal because they have an answer. I guess I'm locked into bringing these exact 4 Mons. And, being able, sure, you can always be alright, they have one answer to Cole. If I bring Cole in the back and eliminate that answer, then Cole gets to do his thing. Which, that's a fine way of looking at it, but personally, I like my teams to be able to be more dynamic and more fleshed out than I'm going to do my gimmick, and if my gimmick works, I win, and if it doesn't, I just lose.
Yeah.
When it's good, it's absolutely insane. I will never discredit Colossal for doing that. When it's good, it's bananas. It is incredibly, incredibly good. It's also super beatable.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's how most gimmicks of Pokemon work. It's if you can identify, this is the thing. Like beat up. You identify, this is the beat up Mon. This is the Mon that's got justified. How do I beat it? Oh, redirection. Just turns it off. They can't do the thing. It also notably turns off the whole Aqua Jet thing that Navier likes to do. Even turns that one off. So it's just redirection's how you stop this. Okay, cool. Colossal, I play Landorus. Landorus lines up really well against opposing Colossal.
Tapu Fini lines up really well against it.
Yeah.
Sure, nice Max Quake, nice Max Overgrowth. Bang.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Get out of here. Primarina, another one that's really good against Colossal. It's just
Yeah,
bang.
I played Primarina this last week. There was times where, I'm playing the Colossal Mirror, and I'm just I'm just gonna max Primarina. This seems better.
Bang.
I'm gonna.
Unfortunately, that it means that your water type attack is physical and not special.
True, which is in that situation was super awkward.
Yeah.
The fact that we were playing Energy Ball over Hydro Cannon was really, really awkward. But at the same time,
you were also Liquid Voice, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's awkward because Hyper Voice is really good when it's good, but it sucks when you Dynamax.
Yeah.
And Primarina, when it Dynamaxes, can be very good if the set is built for it, which unfortunately
that one wasn't the greatest for it, but it's still
I made it work. It wasn't awful. The team definitely performed way better than I ever anticipated when I saw it on paper.
Yeah. The fun thing here is we have Dusclops to do our slow mode with Colossal if we need to, which is really, really cool. It also, like I said, it does great slow things with Glastrier. So it's not just I'm stuck being Colossal all the time. I have a slow mode of if I just want to do Dusclops plus Rillaboom lead, get Trick Room up, U-turn out into Colossal, click Bulldoze.
And then, because your opponent's a jerk, they hit you with a water type attack, and now you're the fastest thing on the field in the Trick Room. Thanks, idiot.
Yeah.
Rich. Alright, cool. Sure, you have a weakness policy triggered, but be a shame if you're slow.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if you're moving last now.
Which is another thing about Colossal is it just folds to Trick Lagging Tail. Colossal wants to go fast and it can't go fast.
Most Dynamax fold to a Trick Lagging Tail.
Okay, that's besides the point.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Almost everything folds to
You're
Trick
not
Lagging Tail.
wrong. Redirection doesn't.
Feels really bad.
It definitely doesn't feel good.
Next up here, we have NG's team. NG is one of the few Entei players that we had.
One of 2, is that right? Or one of 4?
One of 3.
7?
One of 2.
Okay, 2.
The other one we'll get to in a little bit. It's the Rain team.
Cool.
NG's team here is Moltres, Grimmsnarl, Metagross, Entei, Rotom Wash, and Porygon. 2. There is the fun combo of Bulldoze and Metagross, so we just get to proc our weakness policy, lower everyone's speed, and takes a hit. We blow people up with Metagross.
Yeah, I was doing this with Stack Attack this last week, and then I realized Stack Attack just lists hits. You don't need to.
Yeah, you don't proc your policy. It's like I talked about it on Friday's deep dive as well, and it's just like Stack Attack just lives hits, and it just doesn't matter, doesn't care.
I know you played a couple games with the team. You're like, is this what it's supposed to do?
Like I sit here and just stall, and
then suddenly
and Stack
you have
Attack
nothing else going on. You're like, all right, cool. Now my giant brick monster is here.
Get him, giant pile of Legos.
What I absolutely love about that team is you'll go to Dynamax and then they taunt you. I'm just like, oh, you poor soul. It'd be a shame if you got KO'd right now.
I talked about non-Trick Room using using Stack Attack as like slap Assault Vest onto the sucker and play high horsepower. Everyone expects you to Trick Room, you just Dynamax, Max Quake them.
Yep.
Blow them up.
I have it there as my Trick Room answer and also like a Trick Room user. Like, if I need to go fast, I can because I have Rain. If I need to go slow, I have the slowest thing that's gonna be played.
Exactly. Looking at the rest of this team, there's this sweet core between Grimmsnarl and Moltres, setting up screens, Dynamaxing Moltres. Moltres has safety goggles, so you can't sleep it. It means it's a sun answer.
Good. I like that a lot. Being able to just sit in front of Venusaur and be like, all right, cool.
I'm going to just Airstream you. Bye.
Like, if you Dynamax, you get KO, you get 2-shot. If you're Focus Sash and try to go for Sleep Powder, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So... yeah, it's pretty great. Luckily, safety goggles will work for it because, like, you can play, like, Feeny next to this and be like, you know, and then the problem is like, you're not immune to being slept because you're flying.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're not grounded, so you can't get the benefit. But it's like, it is what it is, and that's kind of why we have safety goggles.
Yep.
Looking at the rest of it, the P2 is double offensive move, Trick Room Recover. Fairly standard at this point.
And we are download, is that right?
Yep.
Man.
Most likely it's to try and get a download boost against Landorus and take it out with Ice Beam. That's usually what you're aiming for.
Do you need the download boost?
Sometimes, yeah.
Only if they're AV, right? Okay. I'm say if they're not, they should.
And that's
just
specifically the one you're trying to blow up. Rotom Wash here, standard Rotom Wash, Protect, Nasty Plot, Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt. It's pretty standard stuff. And then Grimmsnarl. The Grimmsnarl has Taunt, which is cool.
I love it, man. Taunt is so good in this format.
Fake Out's another popular thing on Grimmsnarl I'm starting to see tick up. Like, they don't normally run Fake Out, and you're starting to see more Fake Out.
I've seen a lot more Fake Out on specifically Lacking Tail sets, because, like, you don't care about that move slot, because on your screen sets, you need those two screens. Like, those moves are reserved, whereas it's really hard to fit in the Fake Out. Whereas when you're doing trick things, that requires one slot. So it gives you an extra slot to be able to do Fake Out things.
A lot of the cool trick sets are like Trick, Sucker Punch, Spirit Break, Fake Out.
Yep.
And they're super cool.
Which is great, because if you trick away an Assault Vest, you're just like, alright, I'm going to punch you. Like, thanks, idiot.
We are Agua Berry on our Gigantamax Snorlax.
I disagree. I want to cuss that berry. I understand, but I'm disappointed.
So this is the normal Snorlax G-Max thing, where we get to do Agua Berry, we get to do our G-Max replenish, and get our berry back, and eat our berry, and heal back up after the belly drum, and all that jazz. Paired with this Cofagrigus with Mental Herb. So this is an untauntable Cofagrigus. Or hope you have double taunt.
Which, like I said, taunt is really good in this format. Yep. Play more taunt.
That means play more Mental Herb on the other side. Body Press, Will-O-Wisp, Trick Room, Ally Switch, really, really cool. We got a Life Orb, Zapdos, a Heatran. So we actually have two super sweet cores here. We have the Zapdos, Heatran, Grimmsnarl thing.
What's great about this is we are Life Orb Zapdos with Roost.
Yeah, we blow people up and we get to heal, which is great. We have Will-O-Wisp on our Heatran. That's super cute.
I legitimately did not know Heatran got Will-O-Wisp.
I mean, it makes sense as a fire.
100% it makes sense.
But it's super cute. I think it's actually really cool. Like,
is there any Mon that's not a fire or ghost type that gets access to Will-O-Wisp? Yes, Rotom forms.
Yeah, it looks like the Rotom. But technically, Rotom
is a ghost when it learns it.
They just lose the ghost typing when you switch them.
Is there anything else? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. So. I'm going to look. You do your thing.
Last Pokemon on the team here is this Urshifu, which also carries safety goggles. Urshifu Rapid Strike with Searching Strikes, Close Combat, Taunt, and U-Turn.
Where's our Sash?
Sash is nowhere to be seen.
Huh. Anytime you see Rapid Strike, I automatically assume
just think Sash, right? Just because of the way it is. But I think I like the safety goggles thing.
I'm intrigued by it.
I like having U-Turn on it too. I think that's really cool. And Taunt. Taunt's also really cool. Moving into the last team of our bottom half of our top 8 here. This is the Rain team. This is the team that went 4-0 in the hands of Rectum. It should look very familiar.
Go on.
It's Juan Nar's team from Players Cup 2.
Oh, okay.
Way back in Players Cup 2, we had Juan Nar with this team in the top cut there for World Finals, and it was really sweet. And this is pretty much the same for the most part. Kingdra, Politoed, Celesteela, Entei, Raichu, and Rillaboom. I believe these are all pretty much the same exact sets. Are you counting, I'm assuming? Not a whole lot to talk about because this team has been around for a while. Kingdra Politoed do Kingdra Politoed things, Swift Swim Rain. This is a Choice Specs Politoed, just like the normal rental code. Celesteela does Celesteela things, very bulky, very hard to kill. Entei, just fire type. Nothing crazy here. Has Stone Edge to beat up opposing flying types and things like that. Raichu acts as a lightning rod to remove electric attacks from Celesteela, Politoed, and Kingdra. Also just gains a little bit of extra bulk when you have that Assault Fist on it. And then Choice Band Rillaboom just to kind of deal extra damage to opposing waters and beat them up. Pretty standard. Juan Nar built this team really, really well, and it does a lot of really cool things. And we talked about it earlier. This team went 4-0 in Swiss rounds. It smashed people all the way up through it. And I was torn trying to, I was either rooting for Gil or rooting for this one. And I was torn. I'm glad Gil won, but I really wanted to talk about this team more. But we can't, unfortunately, because we have to get into our top 4, starting with Gil. How many?
9.
Okay.
4 of which are psychic types.
That makes sense.
Those are Mew, Mewtwo, Gallade, and Gardevoir.
Just Gallade and Gardevoir?
Well, I mean, and their line.
Oh.
I'm counting fully evolved ones.
Okay.
On top of that, the 2 Weezing forms.
Yeah. Forgot
about that. Darmanitan.
The Galarian one?
Yep.
It's because the Unova one can learn.
Yep. It's just I never in my life would have thought it could learn.
Technically, it's a fire type.
Not when it's the one.
Zen mode means
when it's not when it's Gorilla Tactic, it's not.
Yeah, but Zen mode makes it a fire type, so technically it has fire typing in there somewhere.
There was one other one. That was the one I'm just I don't understand, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
There was one more that really caught me off guard. And now I'm not going to be able to find it.
No. Let's move on.
Yep, do your thing, man.
So, Gil brought Double Horse. I had talked about it that week, and he did really well with Double Horse. Double Horse being Spectrier, Glastrier. Pairing it with Fairy, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Regieleki, and Incineroar. He'd been playing this a lot leading up to this event. I believe he played it in a bunch of ATX events, and he played it in one-off things on streams, but he hadn't shared the paster with anybody yet, so he has that posted in our Discord. We might see if we can play it for a Team of the Week coming up in the future.
I like horses.
I know you do.
No, I'm disappointed he doesn't have the best horse.
Dirt Horse? I don't know what team had Dirt Horse, but we haven't seen it yet. We'll have to go look for it. But yeah, this is pretty standard Double Horse stuff. Has redirection in the form of Clefairy to protect Spectrier when we need to, and Glastrier if we have to. The one downside here is I wish they had Trick Room set of some sort, but it's fine.
I mean, Glastrier really likes Trick Room. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't have to
You're
have it.
so incredibly bulky. You live every hit that ever comes towards you, and then you Oko them back.
Yeah, except for Stack Attack. That's the one you don't Oko back most of the time.
But see, you're faster than it, so
yeah, that one.
You just trigger my Stack Attack as policy,
and then Stack Attack kills you. I mentioned that too. It's like Stack Attack was really good when Glastrier was good, and guess what's good right now? Glastrier. So Stack Attack is going to see some tick up in play.
Dude, it's so good. People don't respect the brick monster enough.
The rest of this team's fairly standard Urshifu, fairly standard Regieleki, fairly standard Incineroar. Nothing outside the box crazy.
Yeah, honestly,
we're not max speed Regieleki, but
we are
fast.
timid.
It's still really fast.
Yeah, I don't know what 204 gets us to exactly, but
204.
Probably like 270, 272?
204. So we're 48 off of max speed.
Which is 6, so 271.
Yeah, 271.
I was really close.
You were really close.
I'm not going to lie. I just rough estimate off the top of my head. I'm impressed with myself.
Good job. Next up we have Nyan's team. Nyan's team was super cool. This is where the Rhyperior was from.
I love Rhyperior as well.
This is Venucol plus Zapdos, Grimmsnarl plus Dusclops Rhyperior. This is literally pair, mash them together, go. Which is super cool because Zapdos does. It's like as a Dynamax with Torkoal, it's like you get boosted heat wave, which turns into Max Flare. Zapdos does cool things, giving you Airstream to boost the speed of other stuff. Max Lightning to keep your Pokemon from being put to sleep if that's the thing you need. Pairs really well with Grimmsnarl, so does Venusaur. Rhyperior is a good solid option for Trick Room stuff. We unfortunately don't have any of the moves, but I don't care about that.
I mean, yeah. Like, this is literally the very base of what we ask for. So,
yeah.
No items, no moves, no EVs, no IVs, nothing special. Just actually, that's a lie. There are IVs.
These are all the basic for when you put it in.
For those
it's just basic, except for this. Like
clearly.
So when you don't put in moves, it auto defaults to 0 attack.
That's actually kind of funny, which makes me laugh because Grimmsnarl isn't.
Yeah, I know. It means he had moves on Grimmsnarl and then he took them off. So moving away from Venucol into our top two here, this is Swede's team. He has always got the weirdest teams, and this one is Pheromosa Glastrier back at it again.
He's playing the inferior horse.
This is Speed Swap Pheromosa with our Glastrier with Lumberry. I'm sad that there's no Swords Dance on our Glastrier, but oh well. Usually if I see Lumberry, I want Swords Dance. Usually.
Glastrier gets Swords Dance?
Yes.
What?
Yeah! You didn't notice it on Gills? Gills is Lumberry Swords Dance.
No, I didn't notice that. I thought it was 4 attack Lum.
Nope. Swords Dance Lum.
I love it.
So
why does it get Swords Dance?
Because it's a Pokemon that with a high attack stat and it wants to go even higher.
Oh my lord.
The rest of this here is a Shadow Ball Porygon 2, a Heatran, Primarina, and Amoonguss. I like having Amoonguss on this team. It's like Rage Powder's really good to protect your Glastrier since.
I'm not gonna lie. If I saw this in team preview, knowing that it's Swede, I would put a weakness policy on this Heatran, and you're gonna Aqua Jet it.
That's actually really cool.
Like legitimately,
I'm surprised he didn't do
it. That was like just looking at these 6. That was the first thing that came to my mind, outside of obviously the Glastrier Speed Swap shenanigans, and you have Trick Room and like Rage Powder. Actually, Amoonguss Glastrier is kind of a sick lead here as well because you could Swords Dance plus Rage Powder and then just be like, all right, cool, now you're dead.
Yeah.
Man, I really want to play Weakness Policy Heatran now.
We just have to look at later for other people thinking about what to play in the Rumble on the 29th.
Yeah, we got a Rumble this next weekend.
Which would be Saturday. Think about that. That seems like a cool idea to explore.
Please.
Last up here, we have the winner, Mocha. This is Metagross. Called Metagross. The team's called Metagross 2. I'm assuming this is just like version 2.
Yeah, this is our team of the week, too.
Yeah, this is what we're going to be playing for team of the week. Metagross, Spectrier, Tapu Fini, Grimmsnarl, Landorus, and Moltres Galar. This is the standard Spectrier Metagross lead where you can bulldoze, proc your policy, lower the speed of everything else because Spectrier is really fast. It makes Metagross have just enough speed probably to outspeed probably base 100s, I would assume.
196
We're
puts us
base
to
70.
I'm looking. Metagross. We're adamant. Okay.
Yeah.
So 196 puts us to 115.
So we outspeed Garchomp. After Bulldoze, we outspeed.
So that's 102.
Garchomp's 102, and you only have to get to 114 for that. So this outspeeds
103s.
Which are very few and far between.
No, we speed type with 103s. Because Garchomp gets to 114 after a speed drop, you said.
Right, yeah.
So we speed type with 103s. So we outspeed Garchomp. That's the important thing.
Yeah, you outspeed Garchomp. That's the important one. After a Bulldoze, which is really good because I don't know if you take it out with Iron Head, but with
worst case scenario, you just Will-O-Wisp it too.
Yeah.
Like you
Will-O-Wisp it, let it proc your policy because they most of the time have started running Earthquake.
Or like we just Dynamax Bulldoze, trigger our policy, and they protected. Like that is a thing they could do, and then just next turn be like, all right, well, cool, you're no longer a threat. Like sure, you can be faster than Metagross, but I don't care.
Pairing with with that combo here, we have this Tapu Fini to keep us from being burnt.
Super important.
This is a standard Tapu Fini set. Leftovers, Calm Mind, Moonblast, but you want to protect.
Yeah,
standard
nothing,
IVs,
nothing overly exciting here.
This is a Fake Tears Screens Grimmsnarl, which we don't have a ton of special attackers to take advantage of the Fake Tears, but we have enough with Tapu Fini and Galarian Moltres that it's going to be fine.
The fact that we're not Policy Moltres means that we're going to be lacking in damage output potentially. But with 204 special attack and Life Orb, like you're still going to be smacking a ton of things. So
yeah, we still have
Fake Tears just really lets you go over the top and pick up KOs that you probably wouldn't be doing otherwise. Notably, just things like Dynamax Mons.
I wonder how much Fake Tears affects Colossal taking surf damage from Dragapult.
Probably 1,000,000,000%.
Because it already takes a ton, right? Like, imagine what Fake Tears on a Colossal would do after that Dragapult tries to surf.
Already punching it in.
We have a Lumberry Swords Dance Landorus, which that's kind of standard. You don't see Lumberry as much anymore. Most of the time you see Assault Vest with U-Turn, just to get as many Intimidates off as you possibly can. And then, like you mentioned, Life Orb, Galarian Moltres, really high special attack stat. 188 speed gets us to I'm trying to remember what the speed stat is for that, because that's the standard.
You're on your own on this one, man.
Now.
You are on your own.
I haven't played with Galarian Moltres in a while, but 188 hits a speed break point, and I can't remember what it is now. Fire Wrath, Air Slash, Taunt, Protect, standard Moltres. Since we have Life Orb, we don't really need Nasty Plot, so we get to run that Taunt there instead. But yeah, that's going to be our team of the week. Thunder Punch Metagross, really, really cool. Does the same stuff as Rock Slide does. It hits that flying type that can sometimes be problematic for Metagross since you run Ground and Steel. Notably hits Moltres super effectively, hits Tapu Fini super effectively, can remove Rillaboom terrain if we need it to, things like that. So yeah, super cool, super sweet, super excited to see you play that.
Alright, Dynamax Cole, we are 252 HP just for simplicity's sake. We are 0 IV special attack Dragapult. At -2, Surf does 40 to 48% to Dynamax Cole.
That's a lot. And most of the time, you're not max HP.
I know. That's the best part.
What's 0 HP?
0 HP. 47 to 56%. Damn. Just casually doing half to your own Colossal.
That's actually really cool.
Was it worth it?
I feel like
probably.
I feel like that's worth it
because you're still KOing them.
Like you put it You put it to half, and that's a lot. That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
Okay. What else do you want to talk about this week? We mentioned the Rumble on the 29th. Go sign-ups for that are live. Come join the Discord so you can sign up for that. There'll be a forum linked in the announcements channel there. What else we got going on this week?
The Rumble.
We already talked about
that. Did we mention the Rumble? That's basically
I think that's all we got going on this weekend is the Rumble because it's Memorial Day weekend after this.
Yeah, we got a Rumble this weekend and then a qualifier next weekend, correct?
Yeah. We got a Rumble into a qualifier, but there's a week in between them. So you guys
Is
have
there?
plenty of time. It's literally Saturday into Saturday. So you have, instead of being a Saturday 3 days Rumble kind of thing, it's a Saturday to a Saturday.
Yeah, so it's a week apart.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got a week.
Okay. You
got a week. You got 6
Yeah,
days.
the way I interpreted what you said is there's a week in between them.
So no.
So I'm just like, what?
It's the 29th and the 5th.
Okay, that's what I thought, but we'll talk about more of that next week.
Yeah,
so,
we'll get people prepped for that stuff.
Rumble signups are already live. Come hang out. Come join the Discord. That's where the Rumble signups are.
Had a bunch of people join.
Join this last week. Yeah. So to everyone who's new, what's up? How you doing? How's life?
Make sure to check out everything going on in the Discord. I know we had a bunch of newer players wanting to look at stuff for that. Also had a bunch of after our mechanics question, we've had a bunch of people asking questions in the Discord again. Things like, I know I even mentioned it in the Discord about the Misty Terrain thing, and it shows
Which
that
one?
Penguin didn't about dragon types and where the target goes, and Lord Penguin still asked after that episode about affecting Misty Terrain on grounded targets.
Like, go listen to the video.
Like I even mentioned we answered this question in the episode, but yeah, it's like it still has against grounded targets, so it's whatever.
Yeah, I had that come up in the Rumble.
Yep.
My Salamence did 50% to a Dynamax Excadrill. Would have done 100.
Whoops. Oh well. But yeah. Ready to get out of here?
I think so.
I think that's everything.
I can't think of anything else.
Next week we'll probably talk about Rumble teams again. Maybe talk about some other. We're getting a bunch of teams of the week, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get them all played in an efficient.
My thought process is eventually it's going to slow down, and then we're going to be out of teams, and then we'll just have a reserve of teams.
That'll
probably not going to happen.
Never happen. We have Rumbles, and we have an event almost every week now.
My other thought process is this is called Team of the Week. I want to play the team for a week. I don't know.
We call it Team of the Week just because it's the team we highlight. We highlighted a bunch of teams today, though. So
yeah, but I only highlight one on laddering.
Yeah.
So still, it's a whole week.
Well, it's 3 days out of a week, but
which is a whole week, Carl.
No, that's not how weeks work.
In terms of my YouTube scheduling, that's a whole week.
Sure. Get us out of here. I think.
All right, man. So if you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live. Like the video and comment down below. What are we commenting, Carl?
What team did you like most from our Rumbles and or qualifiers? I don't know.
Off the top of my head, can I say my own?
No.
Is that
no
cheating?
Cop-outs?
Dude, Driplin was so good.
No cop-outs.
It was so good.
No cop-outs.
All right, the Mudsdale team. I don't even know who was playing it, but I approve.
I'm surprised you didn't pick the PZ team.
Dude, I love PZ.
I still like the Rain team. I'm a big fan of Walnar's Rain team. I like seeing it played. Makes me happy.
So if you're not listening on YouTube, there's a link down below that will take you to our YouTube page.
I made sure it was there this time. I'm so proud of myself because I remember.
So go ahead and click that and then go do everything we just talked about 2 minutes ago or whatever at this point. I don't know how time works.
Oh my goodness.
Come and join the Discord because our community is great.
We've been talking about that for the past 10 minutes.
Come and follow us on Twitch. I'm at Mr. Missouri 25. Carl is at Musical.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I did it out of order and I almost threw myself
You almost messed us up. Yep.
Follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons. Myself at Mr. Missouri 25. Carl is at Musical VGC.
Website's almost done.
Yeah, we're getting close. Getting real close to having a functionable website.
Yeah, it's really close. I might see if we can open it up this week just for people just to like look at, but we'll see.
It is bare bones right now, but it is enough to say we have a website.
Yeah. So we'll have stuff maybe hopefully posted to that soon, team reports and stuff like that. Get Evan to write articles for us. He used to do that for Medium, so we can get people to write articles and be sweet.
Yeah, team reports and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
YouTube, Discord, Twitter, Twitch.
Yep.
That's it.
Cool. All right, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with a laddering.
Yep.
And then Wednesday with a deep dive.
Yep.
And then YouTube
and then the pattern. Yeah.
So have a good one, everyone. Peace.